and the one that says postpone post to campsite. And there's all your maps and things.
What's
Alright, you're all paid up.
there?
So
That's the top of the mountain.
Yeah, it's gonna have all
we tried to
our hiking trails,
our cabin
tower,
tour
which is at the
earlier.
highest
Check-in
point,
doesn't officially start
and
until
our
4
upper
o'clock.
campgrounds.
Cool.
Yes, sir. When you come,
Does
please
it cost anything? I noticed there was a
your
shack
tag
up
number
there.
and your
No.
Okay.
Just keep your pass on you and they'll wave you in.
Cool.
Yes,
Thanks.
sir.
No problem.
Yes, sir. We'll see you here in the mountain store on Monday.
Thanks. What you doing? Got the bike over there. You can go up.
Yeah. That's
good?
all I needed to
Okay,
see. Yeah,
cool.
you're good.
Thanks. How you guys doing?
Just fine, sir. We'll see ya. Have a good
Pretty cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty cool, but with the fog, I won't be able to see a thing. So this is Bald Rock. Unfortunately, it is foggy as hell out here.
cold front pulled in last night, and lots of rain, a lot of wind. Ended up blowing the tent around a lot, but we'll see what we can do. Try to get some decent pictures. How you guys doing? I actually didn't look to see how long this was. Pretty cool. You don't see this kind of stuff in Florida. Going over there. Man. Just wish you could see more. Long ride, long night. Went through a storm and a cold front, and I gotta head back tomorrow morning. Unfortunately, I think this is the best view we're gonna get. Really cool. Normally there'd be fences around this. Wouldn't be able to go anywhere. So that drop would definitely kill you. It's gonna end up becoming an episode of Man vs. Wild.
I'm sure it would look
Incredible. And it's going to be a little bit till I do another one of these. The camping trip. Plus the camera equipment. I have a laundry list of things that I need to improve or get and do a little better. Anyways, that's what it would look like. There wasn't fog. Well, guess I'll get back on the flight. I stopped by another one. Mine's a little too small. So here's the campsite. It's not bad. I forgot to bring tent stakes, and we had somewhat of a cold front come through last night, and the wind just started gusting. It was weird. It like wasn't windy, but we would just get these strong gusts, and you would hear the wind blowing through the trees. It was actually blowing so hard I was concerned it would knock the bike over, because the bike is kind of sitting at somewhat of an angle, so I really didn't get a lot of sleep. And I also found out that my tent is too small for me, because when I originally tested, I had a really thin air mattress that I put in it, but this one I want to say is about 9 inches tall, so I filled it up, and with that extra height, my head was touching the backside and my toes were touching the front. Here is home. It's tiny. I need to get another one. I think I might stop today and get another one. Anyways, I had to come back to the site in order to grab my little tag, because I came in here last night and just set up camp. It's kind of late. Let's see what the tag is. I gotta like, this one. I gotta like put this here or something. And the clip is gone. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna throw the rest of the gear on the bike. We gotta make it to Starbucks so that I can do homework and charge my cell phone before I lose navigation. Anyways, see you on the road. Now we know what to improve on. It's not bad, nothing was majorly wrong, but just a lot of things I can improve on, both with filming with the GoPros and then also with camping and with the bike as well. Let's see. Making it to Starbucks. We kind of have to drive out of the forest because there's really no roads that go through the forest. And I am not used to roads like this, being from Florida. I was dizzy last night coming in. I was trying to make it here. Trying to make it here, and ended up getting here late. We got off work really late. Normally I get off at 10, but they held us back till like 1 in the morning. So I almost considered canceling, and it sucked because I was planning on packing and like leaving at 6 in the morning and just being ready to go with everything. However, that didn't happen just because of work. I ended up packing the next day, and I'd already booked this place. It really wasn't bad. It's a little over $20 a night. So I'd already booked it, and I was considering canceling it. By the time I got everything packed and everything, it was about 12:30, and I ended up just saying, oh, whatever, I'll go anyways. Left at 12:30, and I could have got here kind of a little bit after dark, but the other thing I realized, one of the things I need to get for the bike, well, I figured out how to do this. I had to take my cell phone holder off in order to do that, which is why I couldn't do that originally. Or sorry, I had to take off my cell phone case in order to do that, just because I don't have the holder. Because I tried doing this a while back, and you don't realize how much you need
something like that to hold your phone, or at least navigation in general. Until what I did was I wrote down on a little index card all of the turns, right? And I start going, and it worked good for a period of time. And I didn't even get to film any of that either. It kind of sucked because it was an interesting ride up. But, you know, I was just trying to get here before dark, and unfortunately that didn't happen. So I didn't end up filming any of it. However, I wrote a bunch of things down on a piece of paper, and then coming up, I realized some of these roads that, like, it's not the same thing that Google Maps calls them. It's like one of them, it was like Milligan or something like that. Turn right at Milligan. I'm like, okay, cool. So, and I kind of pull out the piece of paper, I set it in there, and just like look every once in a while. Okay, where's the next turn? It's like, okay, Milligan, cool. And I passed a road that seemed seemingly like it. It was like, yeah, that kind of seemed like it could have been it. And it turns out that that was it. Although they didn't call it Milligan, they called it State Road 4. And then something else happened like that when I was on the highway. I think it was 65 coming up around Montgomery. I get up there, and then I had written down the road. Wow, that's gorgeous. It's the first time I've been up here where you could actually see without the fog, and I'm not used to this. That's really cool. What was I saying? I think this guy's on a scooter behind me. He can pass me. I am not used to these roads. I am not going quickly. These roads make me uncomfortable. Anyways, I ended up passing my exit because I wrote down the road. It was like 152, but the exit was like 170 something. So I rode past it, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm sitting here literally just like, okay, you can't U-turn. So like I realize I passed it, and I start riding. I'm like, oh my god. You know, I'm riding for like 10 minutes, and there's nothing I can do. There's no exits, there's no nothing. Yeah, I'm really not used to these roads. There's no exits, there's nothing. So I'm just sitting here like forced to go in the opposite direction, and it sucked because I knew I was losing time. So I ended up pulling off, and I'm like, oh my god, let me see. And then you have to re-Google Maps it, look at it again, and at that point I'm like, let me see if I can't get my cell phone, like some way to hold it. Wow. That sucks. I should have waited. To come up here. It's so clear now. God. Maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know. We'll see if we can. Jesus, look at this road. I don't know how to deal with these roads. I am not from here. Should have waited to go up there. Anyway, so I managed to cram my phone in there, and it's like, okay, now I probably lost an hour. Just in like backtracks. Like it sucked. I can't believe people once used MapQuest. I'm sure it was a miserable experience. And the moment I slid my phone in there, it was so nice hearing the sweet Google Maps lady tell me where to go. Oh my god. Especially in the middle of the night. It's like you don't realize how bad it is to not have navigation. The moment I put that thing in there, it's like, oh my god, finally I know where I'm going, and I could just go. I do wish I had more time, though. There's so much here to see, especially now that the fog is blown over. God, I made that whole walk, and I almost want to do that again. And I didn't get to film it all, just because of how late I was stuck at work. And then coming into the campsite, right? I've never had a road make me nervous. I've never felt challenged on a motorcycle, never. Just being from Florida, everything's flat. Everything's flat. But these roads, like I wasn't just nervous. Like I had to get off. I had to get off coming in at night like that, and you start going down one of these roads, and it's like you see it's kind of like this right here, where it starts to like curve down, but you can't see the other side of the road yet, and it just kept going down. I'm like, what is this going to be, like a 90-degree angle? It's going to be straight down? Like, what the hell? Going through a lot of turns like that, and like I felt like kind of lightheaded, like and I ended up stopping at one point because I needed to check the map again. Pulled off at some spot, and it was pitch black out here. You couldn't see anything. And pulled off. I got off the bike, and I was actually like dizzy, just going up and down these roads. I'm like, oh my god, like this is horrible. It's in the middle of the night. I'm in some mountain. I am not used to these roads. I'm not used to the elevation. But at that point, I was already kind of there. And that's the other. By the way, I forgot to say, I'm up in Alabama. I think it's Cheaha Mountain, and I fixed the bike. Just needed a new ECM, and now it runs great. I honestly did it in like 2 hours. You have to pull apart all of these fairings, so it's it could take a while, but I honestly didn't really care about like finishing the job. I cared about figuring out what was wrong with it. So like I was really driven in order to get it done. I'm not sure everyone could do that in 2 hours, just because as you start pulling pieces off this thing, you realize it is a plastic monstrosity. Although it may be able to outlive a Harley, the Harleys do have a level of simplicity that these things do not, considering that this thing is a 2003. So I did that, and I figured, well, let me take a ride and kind of try to feel out exactly what I want to do with this channel, which is mainly stuff like this, going on longer touring, showing you guys the area. And this didn't go horribly, but there's a lot of things I need. Anyways, so I pulled up to the park at night, and I ended up going to the wrong park, but I was just following some dot that I placed on Google Maps, and well, it was still Cheaha Park, but they have multiple campgrounds. So I get up to like the keypad, and I'm sitting at an angle because you're kind of like uphill, and the bike doesn't want to go into neutral. So I'm holding on to the clutch, holding on to the brake so it doesn't roll backwards, and it won't shift into neutral, and it's running. So I can't take my hand off the clutch, and I can't put my number in the keypad in order to ride. I'm like, oh my god, so I had to like roll backwards, and the entrance to this place is like pitch black. Like there's no lights out here. It's only the campground. So it's like you could see the campground, but on the outside of the campground there's nothing. I'm just on some random road in the middle of nowhere. See, look at this. This is crazy. We are going like down right now. Oh, there's a mountain. Huh. So I'm sitting there, and I couldn't get in neutral. So I think what I ended up doing, and I was getting nervous at that point. I'm like, okay, there's nothing here. Like I'm in the middle of nowhere. If I don't get into this park, like I'm just gonna stand next to the bike for 8 hours. So I ended up getting it into neutral, and I feel like that's a solvable problem. I probably just have to roll the bike forward and back a little bit, and that'll solve whatever problem it's having. I ended up pressing the reverse button because it just the light wouldn't. I jammed it all the way forward, and it's like it was at the point where I didn't know where it was gear wise, because I'm like, okay, I pressed it all the way forward and all the way back. I feel like it was just kind of stuck somewhere, and I just had to roll it forward and back. What I ended up doing was pressing the reverse button, put it in reverse, took it out of reverse, and then it managed to find neutral. So I'm like, okay, cool. Turn the bike off, because you can't start this bike if it's not in neutral. So the bike would have been stranded, and I can't push this thing up a hill. So anyways, I got the bike into neutral, managed to go up and punch the number in the keypad, rode around the campground, beautiful campground, and if I have time, I want to show you guys some of the campgrounds here. I don't know if I'm going to have time though, unfortunately. Rode around the campground, and this was the one with like power hookups and everything for RVs and everything. Really nice area here. I've been to some bad campgrounds where they're in some bad areas, but it's like secluded. We're kind of, there's not much around here. There's no city. There's nothing. It's just the park for a good few miles. So I rode around there, and it was really nice campers and everything. People pulled up and realized, okay, this isn't a primitive site. So I went back down. I'm like, okay, I got to find the primitive site. I start going, and I pull up after driving out, going around. I found it on Google Maps, and there's a primitive site. I pull up, and it's like a locked steel gate. I'm like, what the hell? That just goes off into the woods, and I'm like, oh. this kind of sucks. So I pulled up to it. I'm like, well, they gave me a passcode, the same passcode I punched into open the gate when I pulled up to the main campground. Oh, there's people behind me. I'm not good with these roads, guys. You're gonna have to go slow. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, I pulled up to the gate, and I'm like, let me just try punching this code into the, it was literally a padlock with like a 4-digit code, so I punched it in and it opened. I'm like, okay, I swung it out of the way, and I start going. I'm like, okay, there's no concrete here, and I basically had to mud my bike. It honestly wasn't bad, it was some gravel, but coming in at night, like, it was kind of sketchy. Found the campground and then managed to set up camp, and sat through a storm. A lot of gusty wind. I was afraid the bike was going to get knocked over. Got rained on. Went through the park a little bit, saw a few different areas, and now I'm here. I need to go to Starbucks to charge some stuff. So what I really want to get to is Barber Motorsports, and I don't know if I'm going to make it there. Either Barber Motorsports or there's another place that has a it's like caverns, really tall caverns. Oh man, everyone here is going to like ride directly behind me. It is kind of interesting. I've never felt a lack of skill on a motorcycle before, but these roads are not what I am used to, and I am not going to go 60 miles an hour so that people behind me can drag their knee. I'm not going to do it. They can pass me, but I'm also not going to jam myself to one side of the road because these are kind of narrow. I'm sure they're aggravated, but whatever. There we go, finally. I am on the big, slow grandpa's bike. I'm going to ride it like a big, slow grandpa's bike. Unless I rode these roads every day. They look pretty fun, but... Scenic Overlook. Let's see what that is. Oh, cool. Well, at least you'll be able to see at least some of the area. It'd be good to let those guys pass me too. I won't have to deal with someone following me. That was really cool. I think that tower over there, probably can't see that. The tower straight ahead on that peak is the mountain. Covered in fog. Still kind of looks a little foggy up there. Yeah, we gotta go find Starbucks. Not want to go into neutral. Okay, I solved my neutral problem. You just have to roll it back and forth a little bit with the clutch released, and it'll find neutral. But not knowing that could have left me stranded for a good many hours. Starbucks. 4.2 miles. I think we'll make it there. 24%. I need Wi-Fi and electricity.
So, turns out tent was too small. So I went to Sporting Goods and bought myself a new home for the night. Set it up. That is 10 times better than what I had the night before. This thing is huge in comparison.
So we got a fire, and I found a chair and some lighter fluid and a few other things. Also found a pretty nice knife, just to kind of show you how this place died at night. It's actually quite creepy out here. It's just me. There's a few people at the front of the park, a few people over there, and I need firewood, so what we're doing is walking off into the middle of darkness and looking for some firewood. Luckily, the people next to me last night had gathered a lot. You can see the fire over there. It's quite far away. Oh, there's spider webs. A lot of spiders out there too. Oh god. Yeah, it's just darkness off in that direction. Can't see anything. Oh man. Wow, there's a big spider web. Jesus, there's a spider. Luckily, you can't see any of this. Alright. It's pretty crazy how much this park died. Yesterday, I think some people had headed out early, like 4 in the morning, so we were getting wind gusts all night. I think a few people ended up waking up before the actual rain hit and left. I did not do that. I didn't really have the option to do that, but regardless, it was cool to see how the tent fared. Right now, I'm just finishing some homework. I need to stop bringing homework with me on these trips and just finish it while I have the time. Yeah, this place is quiet. It's an extremely different feeling when the park is packed with people, and honestly, last night as people watching a football game, you could see all the way basically to the front just with the amount of people that were here. You know, car lights, fires, these people, you know, you probably can't see anything here, but these people had a hammock set up and a pretty good fire going, and thank God, because I wouldn't be sitting out here in a chair. Without a fire. Did a lot of camping when I was younger, however, never done anything solo like this. It's a very eerie feeling when you're the only one here, to a degree. So this is the new tent. Kind of hard to see. I think my flashlight's starting to die. It's supposed to be a 4-person tent, but I don't know. I could only see 2 full people sitting in here. Anyways, just gonna kind of summarize the journey and hopefully not get attacked by a bear. Found this pretty cool map in a gas station. I collect these. I got a few of them up on my wall. I'll kind of sit there and draw in the paths I take. I got a couple, one for Florida, one for Lower Alabama, but I never really got to this level of Alabama, this far up north. And we are there, highest point in Alabama, or at least in that area, Cheaha State Park. Came from down there. Eventually, once I go back, look at my GPS, I'll marker in this path and put it on the wall. But I do have a lot of improvements that I wanted to make. I made a little list. First thing, definitely going to be a bigger gun for bears and whatnot. I literally cannot see the other campsite here. It's like just me in the pitch black, and there's really nothing else. Every once in a while you'll hear someone else laughing or someone drunk, and it's actually kind of nice to hear. Just lets you know that you're not the only one in the middle of the woods. Another thing I thought of would be spool of fishing line and some glow sticks. I think that'd be really good, because when you pull up to this campsite, you can't see anything. It's pitch black. The moment I turn off the bike, it just, everything vanishes. And possibly some other light, just so I can light it up a little bit. Doesn't have to be crazy, but just so you can see it if I continue doing the primitive route. Flashlights. I have literally the only flashlight I have is in my hand right now. It's a Milwaukee headlamp I use for working on things at night, but it came in handy, and I'm glad it hasn't died yet. It's definitely a lifesaver. Bring some sort of food. I have a cooler for the bike. I could definitely set that up, put some food in there, and not have to worry about it. This park is really cool. Cheaha. It's like on a mountain in the middle of the forest, and there's kind of only 2 roads to get here, either heading in opposite directions. And it's like, in order to get up here, especially at night on the bike, it's kind of treacherous. This last ride I did was pretty cool. I actually started getting used to it, so I kind of got into it pretty good. On the way back, I got a lot more comfortable with these roads. When I first came in, they were pretty scary, especially at night. Could definitely use a chair and some batteries for the flashlight, and that should pretty much sum up the camping stuff. A few more things, not much. This tent is actually really nice. It's a huge improvement from what I had. I need a new microphone. I really need to get a DJI mini mic. The second one, so that you can actually hear it. It was just so simple when I was using that, although the sound quality wasn't there. What else? Need more GoPro batteries. I definitely need that. I was definitely at a loss of batteries. I couldn't film all the way up here. It would have killed all the batteries, and then without a battery pack to charge things, it's like it just would have been. So it's kind of like picking and choosing when I was actually filming, and I don't think that's the best way to go about this. I think the best way is just to film everything, and then you know, edit later and figure out what you put in there. And the last thing, I want to get a new battery for the bike. This bike gave me a couple scares. Not necessarily starting and whatnot, but just not wanting to go into neutral, which is scary because the bike won't start. And I had a couple times where it was in neutral, but it wasn't registering, and it was in neutral. And I knew that because I could roll the bike in whatever direction, and it just wasn't saying neutral. And I'm like, oh no, I'm stranded. And obviously when you have that bike, kind of before you turn it on, you turn the key and it turns the lights on, which I'm sure sucks down the battery. So in order to not get stranded, I definitely want to get a new battery for it. But all in all, it was definitely a really cool trip. I definitely recommend it. I feel like I gained 6 months worth of experience riding, just being on these roads for a few days. It's really cool. I do not recommend riding them at night. I was doing it out of necessity, just because I didn't have any food or anything, and the way the schedule worked out with not getting off early enough Friday, I just ended up being forced to do it. And this last ride I actually really enjoyed. Hopefully I got some good footage from it, but after being on these roads for a little bit, you kind of get used to it and you can start going at a decent rate. And you know, let me know what you guys think of the videos. Let me know what you want to see. You're not going to offend me. Tell me what you want improved. Tell me things you don't like, things you do like, and maybe throw in the comments where you want me to go next. This is a decent radius. I like this range. It's about 300 miles. Isn't bad, and I think I can honestly do it in a weekend. If I manage to leave at like 6 in the morning on Saturday. I didn't get to do it this time, but I think if I get to do it for the next one, it'll definitely work. So let me know where you want me to go. And hopefully I don't get eaten by a bear tonight. I don't think my little 380 is going to do anything but piss it off. Oh, another thing. Someone might be wondering, why the hell am I in a tent in the middle of the woods on a motorcycle rather than stopping at a motel or a hotel like the one I drove by today? Perfectly good hotel, really nice. And the reason being is I'm trying to do these trips and show that you can do them cheap. Make it comparable to, you know, rather than going out and doing this on a weekend, see how close I can get it to the price of just staying back home, right? Because I do entertain myself back home. I go out to the bar or something, and that costs a little bit. Probably grab some food, do this, do that. And just see what the price is. I'll probably end up tallying it up when I get back home. I'm kind of out of time now, and I got to wake up early to get back, so and I'm tired, so I'm trying to go to bed, but I should be able to add that to the end of the video. Just the cost of the trip, not including the equipment, not including the GoPro stuff, just if you were to just come up here. Minus the cost of the tent and everything, just gas, stuff like that. Food, and next trip I want to bring food too. It'll basically just be the cost of gas, which I normally spend a lot of gas down south anyways. Go to a bar and whatever, and I think once you buy all the gear, this can be comparable to just sitting around and, you know, doing your normal, paying your normal expenses down or back home. And I do wish I had a chance to show you guys more, but it's just been a time crunch the entire time. And then I had to go buy another tent because that other one was small. So I feel like there was a lot more here that I could have done, and I'll definitely be better prepared next time. But yeah, let me know how you guys like the video, and like and subscribe. Help me grow the channel. I can do more of these. Let me know where you want to go next.